Alrighty guys, it's Seppo here, coming at you guys with my in the bag video. We are here in beautiful Spain at Mijas Disc Golf Park. I decided to make highly requested in the bag video. So I'm carrying the new BP1 V2. This is the retooled version of the BP1s that we came out with a few years back. I've been carrying this one since Conopiste, so half a year or a little bit more, I believe. The BP1 also comes in a really nice price. It's not the most expensive bag, but definitely high quality bag for a really nice price. So I believe I have about 25 discs in my bag at the moment, maybe even more. This is the most I have ever had discs in my bag. But without a further ado, let's get into the discs. I'm gonna start off from distance drivers. I have still my old workhorse, the X1. This is in the 750 plastic, the only plastic that this disc ever came out in. And I have about 20 of these at my house. I've had this in my bag for 2 years, since 2017, very early in the year. So I've had this in my bag 2 years. I probably should put it brand new in my bag, and I will if it's really windy like this. I have two D1s in my bag. I have a 400 plastic and 400G plastic. This green one here, a lot of you know, this is my go-to driver and has been for the last couple of years. It's a really nice stability. It's pretty flat. It doesn't have that pop top that a lot of people like, but for my most consistent and long drives, this is a driver that I go for every single time. This is just so consistent, but it still has a great distance. I have 400 plastic D1, and this is 167 grams. This is not very heavy, but I use this for my sidearms. I might throw this every once in a while for backhands for crazy long hyzer bombs, but mainly this disc is for sidearms. I don't know what it is about the lightweight or something, but I really like sidearming this disc. I have two 400G D2s. This is a driver that you need in your bag if you throw Prodigy, and even if you didn't, try it out. It's a really good, consistent, far-flying driver. I have two of them in my bag. The blue one, you've seen this in my earlier in the bags. Now I use it for my long rollers, straighter sidearms, and for hyzer flips in tailwind. Really good distance driver. Doesn't get used very much at the moment, to be honest, this blue one here, because it's just too understable to be used very often, but still in the bag, and especially for those long rollers if we hit like a golf course or something. But this orange swirly red one, this is one of my go-tos at the moment. This is really straight, go-to for those crazy distance shots, handles some headwind, just overall really good and consistent far-flying driver. I love the grip, and I love this run specifically. It's a pretty stiff 400G, and they have really nice dome, solid dome, and everything about this run is just good, and I've been using this run for the last few years. Okay, so that's all my distance drivers. I don't have very many. I only have 5, but that's also all I need, so I don't carry more than that. Okay, and then we're moving on to my hybrids. I carry, actually I believe I have some in my side pocket too. I have 4 H1s. One of them is the OG H1, the original one, and this I use just for shorter spike hyzers and some sidearm flex shots. This is clearly shorter flying disc than the new H1 V2, so that's why I like having the old one. I seriously feel like they're totally different discs. So the old H1 for shorter spike hyzers or sidearm flex or crazy headwinds, and I like this in 400G plastic. Thanks to Kevin Jones for recommending this. Great disc. And I have 3 H1 V2s. I have 2 in 400 plastic. I have a really flat disc golf instructions one, and this is my most overstable H1 V2. It's quite similar stability to this one, but this is just faster, and I like sidearming this. I even throw thumbers with this. and just long hyzers overall, flex shots, but a lot of the time I use this for sidearms. I have another 400 one, the first H1V2 I ever got, and this is getting pretty straight. It still has overstability in it, but I use this for headwind straight shots, just the smooth hyzers all the way. Even sidearms, pretty straight sidearms. It doesn't handle much power, but it does some. So I use it for straight sidearms and just everything that's pretty straight, but I need some stability at the end. My go-to H1V2 is this 750 plastic one, and this is between the stability of these two. It's overstable, but not crazy overstable. I've been using this one also for about half a year now, and this is just my favorite disc in the bag at the moment. I use this all the time. It has perfect stability for me. I don't sidearm this one. I do sidearm both of these, but not this one. I like the softer plastic for sidearms, but this is my go-to backhand disc for anything shorter than 400 feet. I might even go over 400 feet every once in a while with this. We have one H3V2. I'm thinking about carrying two, but this red H1V2 is so beat up that it's kind of close to brand new H3V2. I have a beat up H3 here, and this is straight to understable, you know, for those anhyzers that you want to hold all the way, or straight tailwind shots, or hyzer flip to flats. This is just a workhorse. There's no other disc like this really. The fade is not there. There's no fade. This disc is just incredibly straight. I mean, obviously it has some fade, but it's really small compared to the speed and the distance that this disc can get to. Straight shots with this. My fairway drivers. I once again don't have very many fairway drivers. I have my flippy fairways in the side pocket. Let's start from my roller disc. I have 400G F7. I throw this disc only for rollers, not really anything else. Every once in a while I might throw a tomahawk for those quick turning tomahawks, but that's only if I'm in the trouble. So this is my roller disc. It's really nice because I can throw it almost flat and it'll turn over and it'll keep rolling and always turn over at the end. One of my older discs actually in my bag, I believe, this 400 plastic F5. This is understable, it's really beat up, but it's strange because once this hit a certain stage of how understable it is, it hasn't changed after that. So I really know how this disc flies. I can give it that really nice, comfortable hyzer angle, and it's gonna hyzer flip and turn over, and it never comes back. It just keeps turning, and I can always count on that. Okay, next up I have F1s. I have two of them, and they're both in 400G plastic. Same run. I have a really beat up one, and I have a brand new one. This beat up one is pretty straight. You know, it still has that fade of F1 at the end, but I use this for straight shots, for slight hyzers, even sometimes turnovers where I want it to come back at the end. But yeah, F1. I have a brand new one, and this is kind of similar to some of my H1V2s or the H1 in the stability, but this is just slower, and I like that the rim isn't very wide, so I like this disc especially in the woods when I don't want that wide rim. You know, I want that comfortable release for that tight gap that I'm hitting. And it also has one of my favorite artists' logos in the middle of the disc, and that gives it a little bit of persona to me. Okay, so I have 4 mid-ranges, 2 of them are M3s. So I have a brand new one and I have an old beat up one. I don't have the old Europe M3 anymore in my bag. I still have several of those at my house, but I found this really nice run of 750 M3. This is very slightly more overstable than the Europe ones. So I'm bagging this one at the moment, and it also has really good graphics on it. My 3 favorite artists, rest in peace all of them. So this is the M3 that I'm going with at the moment for my straight to overstable M3. I have my old beat up M3 that I like to release in hyzer, flip it up to straight, flip it up to flat and fly straight, or release it flat and keep turning to the right. I can do all sorts of things with this disc. A new disc in my bag. or not a new disc, but a new purpose for me in my bag is this new Glimmer 400 plastic M4. This is the most overstable M4 I have ever seen or I have ever thrown. I have always loved the M3 the most, but I haven't been using these as much anymore because of this disc. I love the flight of this disc. It's overstable, not very much so, but it's slightly overstable. I love how it feels and I love how it looks, and I've been using this for my straight shots for almost the whole off season actually. I have a 400G M4. It's with the Garrett Girthy signature. It's one of those early ones, flat, and I lost my red one that I used for a couple of years. I lost it in Florida, so I had to put this one in my bag, and I used it for sidearms, hyzer flips, rollers, all sorts of shots where I need disc to turn over. Okay, and then we're moving on to A series. I only have two. I have my A2s, brand new one and a really beat up one. This is the old workhorse, one of my go-to discs in the bag, also one of my favorite discs in the bag. This is almost straight. Obviously it does have some stability in it. I use it for sidearms, you know, backhands. I like releasing it in a bit of an Annie, make it go straight and have that trusty hyzer at the end. I would be devastated if this disc got lost. Another one, brand new A2, just nothing about it really, just a crazy overstable meat that I use for hyzers, flex sidearms, flex backhands, anything short hyzer shots. I don't use my H1 for, you know, shots, you know, around 200 feet. So I like to use the A2s for those. And this is just kind of like an H1 for shorter distance. Okay, my throwing putters. I have four. Two of them are PA1s. I have a 400 one, a swirly plastic, really nice, a overstable PA1. This is pretty new. I use it, you know, just for overstable putter shots. I like releasing this one as well in an Annie, and it comes back every time. You know, releasing it flat, it fades soft, or just, you know, all the way hyzers. Once again, one of my go-to discs, one of my key discs in the bag, this beat up 400 PA1. I've had this one also in my bag for a couple of years. So it's pretty straight, has a little bit of fade at the end, but I can do all kinds of things with this disc. It's just, if I'm within 300 feet and I need to go somewhat straight, slight Annie, slight hyzer, 90% of the time it's this disc. I still carry PA3s in 300 plastic. I have two of them. This is my really beat up one that I had for my understable putter for a long time, but now it's getting so understable that I had to put a new one in my bag, which is slightly understable now. And this, but I still use this a lot. It's really understable. I can give it almost as much hyzer as I can and it'll always flip over. Really nice disc, and I also use this for short up shots and long pots, you know, stuff like that. And this one here, really beautiful disc. It's a straight to understable, does all sorts of things once again, but mainly the purpose for this disc is slight hyzer to turnover shots. Okay, my putting putters, still the same ones. I've had these since 2016, July. These are really straight for putting. This is my go-to one, doesn't even have stamp anymore. And these are my backups, doesn't have much of the stamp left, but still has some. Really rounded on the edge, doesn't have the bead left anymore. But there's just something about this run and these putters that I like so much that I haven't changed these. I take good care of these, you know, I keep them smooth with a towel and keep them clean. And, you know, I will change my putters once I find something that I like more, or I find a better run of PA3s for putting, but this run is still the go-to. And yes, that's actually all of the discs I had in my bag. I had 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 27 discs in my bag, and that's the most I have ever had. I don't think I will have all of these at the same time in my bag at any event, but these are the ones that I'm gonna go with for 2019. I'm excited for the season and I'm ready for the season. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.